Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today we're looking into the VSM IV from Gforce software. It's a sample-based instrument that recreates the iconic sounds of classic synthesizers that were made in the early days of synthesis to recreate the violins and strings and all these pad and string sound and ensemble sound. So the 4 adds new features to it. There's a bunch of, we'll listen to it, but first let's just go through the numbers. You have more than almost 2,000 presets. It's just mind-boggling the amount of presets you have here. You have this just huge bank of 11 gigs of samples. Is just huge, the amount of presets that you have, and from different instruments. So you want the sound of the CS80 from Yamaha, these are the sample from that. So it's a bunch of samples that have been carefully recorded, pan, produced, sound design on this. The instrument itself is capable of synthesis that you can yourself create your own stuff, just using the raw samples and combining samples from different models if you want. You have 2 layers, layer A and B, and well, they're playing 2 different sound if you want, or the same if you want it to be bigger. And when you click on this, go A and B, the whole synthesis you have under it, the whole synthesis here is for one or the other. And you see the color changes. If you go B, you see that now these are kind of pinkish, and this is more, this is green. Then you have under it new features. You've got a new chorus, a new ensemble, a more complex reverb. One thing that is really cool is you can actually lock the effects. You can say, I want to keep that ensemble, I like this one, or I like to keep the reverb. I lock it, and then when I change the sounds, but I want the reverb because that's the sound I need in the song, you can just easily just load other patches, and these, the one that you selected to be locked, will stay in. And now you can also decide which effect it's going to be affected. You can say, well, only A will have the effects and B won't have it, so you can apply it to the right one. Go to Juno with dynamics. If I double click on it, you see that there's only one being used right now. I could actually pick another one here and say, I'm going to use, I don't know, this one here. And I could take a different envelope to this one. Now, synthesis-wise, what you have in this, you have, of course, you can load the samples, and you can decide which instruments you take it from. So it's a sample from, I don't know, Crewmore Trilogy, and this is the one I'm going to take. So if you don't want to hear this one, you can solo one of them. So now you just hear that one. You have, so the different type of sound you can load in. First of all, you can pick the layer, the sound of the layer that you want. You can solo it. You have a bunch of controls for the voice, so you can say the level of it, the detuning of it, the tuning of it, okay? And if you're not sure what you have, well, the information appears here at the top and says what it is. So if you go, oh, I want to be exactly at 0, until you get to... Or you can double type on it to go to as the neutral value. What's new is you have Flutter and Wow. So that aging of, instability. And then you can have kind of this come in at different rate with the LFO changing the wow and the flutter, and how unstable. Yeah, these controls here, which is new. You've got new controls over where you want the LFO to be sent. There's more control than before. Well, there's still going to be basic stuff. And you have different shapes, new shapes that you can use. And you can decide how... Oh, this is weird, but you understand that if you want to have something that is... You can play with that for the vibrato, tremolo, stuff like that. You get a cutoff for a filter. Two type of filter here. And you have a high pass, bend pass, or a low pass. You have resonance. And you get tracking. So your keyboard, the cutoff can fill the keyboard as you go up the keys. It's going to open up. You got filter, filter envelope. And you got amplifier envelope, so amp envelope generator. You have the performance is basically for the banding here. You got the band range when you use the pitch band. In this case, it's going to pitch band. This is how many semitone you're going to pitch band. Okay, we've got velocity, is it controlling the amplitude, is it controlling the filter, and aftertouch, is it controlling the LFO depth and the filter. So you can actually control that with aftertouch if needed. Now there's a new thing called copy paste, which is interesting. If you're working on A, you can copy, you can go into B and then paste it there. So you can continue working on it somewhere else. Phaser, chorus, ensemble, reverb, new controls and new options, and the fact that you can actually lock them. We just talked about that. And if you want it to be assigned just on A or just on B, you click on which one you want it to be affecting. Now let's just listen to some of it. There's some modulation for the frequency here. You can turn them off like this. There's already so much stuff moving here. And you can decide if we're going to hear more of A or B. In this case, B is not, it's in solo mode, so it doesn't work. Let's listen to some of the sound we have in here. And there's this split mode where you see Omni 2 bass is only affecting these notes, whereas the Omni 2 viola are on the other part of the keyboard. So with this, now you have a split configuration between the two sounds, so they're not layered anymore. throbbing porridge. Okay. Oberheim expander. VP 330. This one's more brassy. Let's say I take this one for fun. And then the other one, actually, the other one is a short one. Because you can also have, you know, in this case, it's there's a pluck categories. So the two together that's it. It sounds good. I mean, if you're in the market for a violin or virtual string machine, that's what the VSM is for. If you're looking for a virtual string machine, this one has a ton of patches, a huge amount of, 46 different machines were recorded different ways for the patches for this. It just sounds really cool. So if that's the type of sound you're looking for, you have to check out the new VSM IV from Gforce software. That's it. Stay safe, make more music, and see you soon. Cheers.